Right under the sign. Over to the left. This way. Right to camera. Right to camera. Yeah, guys, right here. Hey guys, give me we're good. Going up.
I want to thank everybody for coming out, the media, HBO for having me on again. I want to thank Bernard for finally taking the fight. I want to thank Gary Shaw for having faith in me and still put me on. And even though I had a bad loss to John Pascal first time out, then Bernard came back and beat him after that, beat him twice. Because I thought Bernard won the first fight. It was a good fight, but me and John Pascal are two different fighters. I'm more of a laid-back boxer. And a lot of people think I can't punch, but October 15th, I'm going in. I'm not going in for a decision. I'm going in for a knockout. Bernard Hopkins is 47 years old, 29, and honestly, I don't see any way he can beat me. I thought that for the last 3 years, and I still think it now. And Bernard's gonna have to be on his A game on that night because it's over. Thank you. That's all I got to say.
Now, you hear Chad Dawson, you hear Kerry Shaw, you hear everybody saying their opinion, and this is promotion and all that. But I believe they're real about what they're saying. The only thing they're wrong about is I duck no one. Boxing world is too small to run. What I've done is use my Fox mentality and curated something in the light heavyweight division that was missing after the Bernard Hopkins and Joe Gazaki fight. As a southpaw, for the record, I am 12-1, and the one loss is a split decision to Joe Gazaki, which most people would say I won that fight. But nevertheless, it is what it was. I love fighting southpaws because I'm very unorthodox myself. I don't do things regularly, and I'm not a regular fighter. Case in point, look at my history. Look at my record. You take Chad Dawson and you take my resume. We've been applying for a job, right? Okay. Okay. Harvard Community College. And who you want to hire? Now, no disrespect to community college because they mostly in the inner city, if not all the time, and they do help stepping stone to get there, but y'all know what I'm saying. We're having fun, but I'm letting you know that I'm not ignorant. I know that it plays a good role where it sits, but you're hiring these two individuals, or at least make an attempt to hire someone, and I'll give you my resume, so I don't have to bore y'all with my resume. These faces are common to me, y'all. My face is common to most of the reporters, if not all. But I still have the fire and desire to beat up the so-called fighters that claim that they know it all. And so anybody that's 40 and up club or knocking on the door 40 or they 35, you still can get in, you feel like you're 40 for some reason, welcome. Welcome to the 40 house. Because at the end of the day, one thing that age and wisdom, it can't be compromised. Now the physical can, depending on who you are. Chad Dawson has two problems. He have a guy with a PhD in what I do, and he also got a guy that says 46 on the birth certificate, but it can easily be argued he's 10 years younger than that when it comes to the physics side.
We got my man, Kid Chocolate, Peter Quillin. How you doing, Peter?
I'm blessed.
How you doing, man? I'm good, man. I'm good. Good. Welcome back home, man.
Thank you, man, for having me back.
Yeah, man. We got Chad Dawson and Bernard Hopkins on October 15th, man. Who you liking in that fight?
Well, I like Bernard, only from, you know, what you just heard. The guy just not have promoted himself, but he just told you his history and kept it real. You know, he said exactly what he fight for. And, you know, when you got guys that put everything on the line for their legacy, their history, that's a dangerous guy. That's the kind of guy you don't really want to take lightly. And I hope, you know, Chad goes in there. You know, I'm a laid-back fighter as well. I'm a kind of aggressive at times, but at the most part, I hope he didn't mean that, you know, laid-back kind of guy is saying, Bernard, I can be laid-back fighting. You know, you have to be able to do it all when you fight Bernard Hopkins. One thing don't work, you got to try to do the next thing. So you don't want to have that mentality going up in there, you know, being laid back. You know, but all is good. You know, we seeing youth versus wisdom. You know, that's a fight, and that's a story right there. You know, we got a young lion versus an old lion, and we want to all see the old lion get dethroned. But right now, where this guy is going, this guy is starting to become a spokesperson for people that want to be over 40 years old, to be in good shape, eating good, taking care of themselves. That's a positive role model that we should have in our communities.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, we got another fight coming up, man. We got Mayweather versus Ortiz, man. Who you liking that fight?
Well, you know, I'm originally from Grand Rapids, Michigan. I learned so much from Floyd Mayweather. He gave me inspiration as saying that I can be from Grand Rapids and actually become something. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know I was going to become a fighter, and you know, boxing fell into my hands, and I fell in love with it. You know, watching, you know, guys like Mayweather perform, you know, I want to be cut from the same cloth as Bernard Hopkins, Floyd Mayweather, Sugar Ray Robinson. I want to do my part in the history of the sport to have people remember me for, you know, the good things that I do inside the ring, but not only that, but good things I can, you know, do outside the ring as well, you know, and I think that's what makes the champion. And Floyd, you know, in all aspects of his career, probably haven't, you know, had the most fans. But, you know, for the guy to sell out the arena in one day, you know, that's great. That's Jay-Z in the Madison Square Garden. That's great. And I think, you know, that's, you know, people, they can say they're not fans of Floyd, but they're really friends. He make you a fan. And, you know, and I heard him in a press conference before where he was speaking like, you know, Muhammad Ali. Same exact situation. Everybody wanted to pay to see Muhammad Ali lose because his mouth, the way he conducted himself, and that's the way he stood for. Same thing Floyd do. You know, they don't give him his credit. They pay to see him lose. Okay. And you know, now we give Muhammad Ali all the credit in the world for being a great champion that he was. But at the time, you know, he was still unknown to be like that great. You know, and the way that people talked about him, I think Floyd gets a lot of that same thing. You know. Thing one day at a time for him, you know, to secure what he wants for the legacy, and I think he stands for his legacy a lot. He puts a lot of money on it too, you know. But most importantly, you know, these are the reason why I box is these kind of guys right here.
Okay. Well, I know you've been out in LA and you've been you trained with Freddie for a little bit. You've been out to the wild card and so forth. While I got you, let me ask you about Mayweather and Pac-Man. If they ever got in the ring, man, who you like in that fight?
Well, you know, I always keep my opinion out of that. I think, you know, before Pacquiao, you know, I thought he was a good fighter even before the situation where I started training and I see how hard a guy works. What he do outside of boxing is great. All that stuff is great for what he does, you know what I'm saying? And for me, being in that same stable and me being from a city where, you know, Floyd get a lot of respect, you know what I'm saying? I always choose to keep my opinion to myself.
Are you still training with Freddie?
I still train with Freddie. I'm just, you know, I live in New York as well still, you know. I just go to New York, California to train. So if you see me out there a lot, it's because I want to pick up as much as I want to pick up to learn. So moving forward in my fights and help me become at the stage where Bernard and Floyd is at.
Okay. Well, let me get your thoughts on this also, man. And Kelly Pavlik was scheduled to have a fight last Saturday. He pulled out of the fight, I guess a week prior to it. And what I heard was over money. What's your thoughts on that, man?
You can't measure wealth with money. You can't measure your wealth. That means you can't measure your wisdom with money. You can't measure your family with money. You can't measure your career with money. Usually when you got a career and you do it for love. And then with the love for the sport or for what you do, gets you the money. And you have to respect the money. So I think for him to pull out a week before, it's like a spit in the face of the other fighter. You know, for me, I'm a mentality of a fighter. I let my promoters, let my managers, and all my people handle my business. So it don't have to be none of that. You know what I'm saying? I did, you know, since this happened, God proposed a fight with Alicia Mute. I turned it down because I don't measure wealth, money. I don't measure what I can get paid now to stop what I'm going to get paid in the future. I'm a young guy, 6-year pro now, and I'm learning so much, and I'm only getting better. and better every day.
Okay, so if not Boutte, when the next time we're going to see you in the ring and who against?
I hope October 15th these guys get me on there. I told them I submitted myself September 17th, October 15th. Whenever they want me on, I'm ready and fit and ready all the time.
All right, well, good luck, man. Good seeing you again, bro.
Thank you for having me.
All right. We're here at the Hopkins and Dawson press conference. Who you liking this fight, man?
I would never ever, I've learned my lesson, I would never ever bet against Bernard. Even if I think Dawson has a real good chance, which I think he does because he's very technically adept. He's a very strong young fighter. He can be active when he wants to be, but I'm never again picking against Bernard. I did it against Pavlik a couple other times. Even if he fights Klitschko, I'm not going to bet against him. So is it a kind of a 50-50 fight? I think it is. I just enjoy watching Hopkins at work. The man is a living legend. We are living in his era right now. I don't want to look back in 10 years and say, oh, right, that was the era of a living legend. It's a living legend, so I appreciate him for what he is. 50-50 fight, but I got to pick Hopkins.
Okay, okay. So if you had some money to put on this Mayweather-Ortiz fight, where would you put it? Who you like in that fight, man?
Betting the house on Mayweather, but I'm going to act sort of like an arm of the promoter now, and I'm going to say that there is the slim possibility that the young, strong buck lands the shot from hell. That Mayweather at 34 has deteriorated enough to get touched, and maybe he's the last to know it.
Wow.
Maybe the punch that he used to be able to slip, his reflexes aren't quite there, and he gets tagged. So it could happen. Will it happen? Oh, probably not. But might it, and will I tune in? Yes, I will.
I got you, okay. Well, let me ask you this, man. Kelly Pavlik had a fight scheduled for last week, which he pulled out of. It was talks of it was a money situation. What's your thoughts on that, and what have you heard?
My thoughts on that are, let's first and foremost look at it from the perspective of this is a human being who has struggled mightily with an alcohol addiction. So easy for us to sit on the sidelines and opine that he's doing this wrong and that wrong and he's pulling out. But I'm thinking about the fact that the guy might just be hurting inside and he's confused and he doesn't know if he wants to keep on fighting. And it's on him to tell us about that. But it's very personal stuff. So I'm not going to lace into the guy for pulling out. Does he piss people off? Does he piss Showtime off? Does he piss Top Rank off? Yes, he does. But I suspect that it's because inside the man is hurting. And is it really probably about the money? Probably not. Probably it's deeper issues deeper down.
Okay.
So let's look at it like he's a human being and feel for him.
All right, I got you, Mike. All right, good talking to you, man.
Thank you, Lamar.
You don't turn the camera, Bernard. He ain't allowed to turn the camera.
You